The Standard B. My god, is this an infuriating tank to play. Now, I played a few games just to reacquaint myself with the vehicle, and the thing is, I last played this tank, I maybe played it once after the nerf, but then most of my time playing it was before this tank got nerfed. And it was a lovely tank. It was so nice to play. And now, the gun is anything but nice to play with. I don't know what it is, but this tank has insanely just not even bad accuracy. It just doesn't go where you want it to go. If you are not fully aimed in this tank, it is a nightmare to play with. And no matter what equipment you put on this vehicle, it will not make the gun do what you want the gun to do. Which is why we are using hardening, vents and stab, and the stab is 100% mandatory on this vehicle because it is awful without it. It has some of the worst gun handling I've ever seen on basically any tier 9 medium tank. And bearing in mind, this is tier 9. This should be a decent tank to actually grind to get to tier 10. Although the tier 10 isn't much better, so, you know, maybe you are basically playing what you're going to become. Because, yeah, the Projector 65 is not a very nice tank either in this current meta. But either way, the stab is 100% mandatory. Vents, I would also argue, is 100% mandatory because there is no other way of you boosting up the DPM. And also, it's just nice to have with all the new crew perks in the game to just boost them up as well. And then we're using hardening because, yeah, as I said, I played a few games. I tried to use IAU. I've tried the fire control system tier 3, this thing, and none of it works. It just doesn't make the gun back to what it used to be. And you might as well just not even bother with any of that and just go with hardening and just be a little bit more aggressive. Because trying to snipe with this thing, unless you're fully aimed, is also a nightmare. This tank excels at around about 300 meters away or less. Anything further than that and you are just praying that your shell hits. For the secondary loadout, we are using optics, CVS, and stab. Again, stab because I do want to be able to use the gun. Otherwise, it's not very nice at all. And I know that, yes, you can get very good camo in this. We currently have 32%, and we do have a full camo crew. We'll move on to the crew in a second. But combined with all the field mods, that's why it's a little bit lower. If you wanted to go full camo crew with a camo directive, and then the field mods and everything else, you can get up to like 47 or 48% with low noise exhaust as well. But I think that is a little bit overkill for this. Like, considering that I would like to be able to shoot the gun as well, and the way that I play this type of vehicle is not to replace the scout, it's just to be annoying to the enemy scouts or anyone else that decides to just go through the open, guaranteeing that you will be able to spot them. But speaking about the crew skills, we are using, obviously, the standard Brothers in Arms repairs and recon. We have concealment on there. We have coordination because this tank does get absolutely awful aim time. And so once we do get into a situation where we do spot someone, we'll get the coordination effect and then get that aim time down as well. We obviously have situational awareness. We obviously have firefighting. And then for the third one, we have comm experts. Honestly, this one, out of all of these, the radio operator, I think that these ones, there's only really two mandatory ones, which is firefighting and situational awareness. So the rest of these are kind of just whatever you want. Comm expert, I'm not going to lie to you, it's not really that useful. The reason being is that you would have to get over 1,000, whatever it is, assistance before it then becomes active. And it's okay if you are scouting, and I do think that it is worth it if you are going to have a scouting secondary build. But most of the time, you're not even going to get this. So I don't know. I think that all of these are a little bit gimmicky. I like the situation awareness firefighting, but the rest of these I don't really want or feel like I need to have. Signal interception, though, is quite nice to have. So if you didn't really want any of the others, then you could choose that. For the gunner, we obviously have as much as we can to get the gun down. We have armorer to increase the gun dispersion, or I should say decrease the gun dispersion, but also then to do the potential damage and potential penetration reduced by 6.73% in this current configuration. We then have quick aiming because, again, we need to get that aiming time down, snapshot, and obviously concealment. And then for this, it's just kind of the basic, you know, we have off-road driving, engineer, smooth rides for the driver, obviously with camo on there, and then the loader, camo again, aim tuning, perfect charge, and intuition. Although with intuition, it's going to be quite annoying because it is an auto reloader, not an auto loader, which means that you will only load one shell if you choose to use it, which is just fantastic, really. For the films on the standard B, we have the left, right, left. The reason why we're using the left-hand side is that we are using hardening, and I want that extra repair speed. The repair time at the moment in this tank is 3.07 seconds. Although, I will tell you this, that repair time, I think, is a slight lie. Because I think it's 1 second above whatever that is. Because you'll get to 0, then you wait like a second, and then it repairs the track. It's quite annoying, actually. So I don't know what's going on with this number, but I think that this is actually a lie, because there's been many times where you count down, it goes, oh yeah, 3 seconds, and all the way down, then it gets to 0, then you need to wait a second, then it repairs it. It's a bit weird, like, so it's got like that second animation. And then for the last one, we do have the reduce to aim circle after firing, because without this, it's, no, it's just not very nice. Even though that you have a 3-second intro clip, in that time, you're still not fully aimed if you choose to have the left-hand side. It's actually awful. Especially if you don't have stab, which would then help out with this as well. That is just a big no-no. Anyway, it's time to play this tank and see if we can make it work at least. Okay, so we're on Pilsen, which is not too bad. That's not destructible, so I need to go around that. I'm going to start off by just going to the middle of the map at D5. The reason for this is that hopefully we can get some free shots on people that are then going to be crossing early on, the heavy tanks. It would be really nice to intuition to HE and destroy this building or this wall, but that's not going to happen. We do, however, need to destroy it, so we're going to put one in and then just wait. I believe you can spot through this when it's destructed, or like half gone, I'm not sure. I know that they can shoot through this as it's in this condition, but I don't know whether or not you can actually see through this or not. It's a little bit annoying. I'll put one in now. All the people that would have crossed would have crossed by now. So it's time to just wait for a few seconds and just see what happens. And there's not really much point of doing anything right now. It's just about waiting to see what's going to happen on the map and then adapting to that. At least in the middle of the map, you can then choose where you would like to go. The Conqueror is up there, up in H8. We still have the 432 there as well. There's a fair few things to shoot through, though, if I actually want to be able to get a shot on him. I remember, it would take 2 shots without HE, and this is the biggest issue I think that this tank has, is that there's just no way of you just quickly getting a HE shot out and then going back to normal rounds. Okay, we're not going to fire the last shot because we need our DPM. Just get a quick kind of shot off and then just go back, wait, reload. What on earth is this guy doing? Okay, thank you, game. Need to get a shot into this guy, though. And now we are reloading for a decade. Very cool. I mean, it's, to be honest with you, the last shell or the first shell reload time isn't that bad, but the DPM is awful. You know, but if you are firing on that last shell every single time, your DPM is pretty bad. But it's not the end of the world. Interestingly, the Conqueror's gone down there. I need to be a little bit more aggressive on this. I've just spotted the Char behind me. 1 into him. 2 into him. 3 into him. And now we go safe behind this, and we're okay. We even get some nice spotting on that as well. Right, we should be unspotted now. So what we're going to do is then cross this. I'm going to repair my fuel tanks because I really don't want to get shot on, or set on fire, sorry. And finish him off, okay. Nice. Alright, now we can then progress through a little bit more. I mean, the game is already over, but it's, I mean, this is your typical standard B game, though, where you're not really going to get that much damage done, because the gun just, you don't have the DPM. And when you miss shots in this tank, it's infuriating. because you lose you feel like you're at such a disadvantage when you miss some shots than you would in comparison to, say, like a T-54, where it's a normal single shotgun. You can kind of live with that miss, because if you suddenly miss a load of shots or bounce, it's just, that's it. Like your DPM then gets decreased, and it's just annoying to play with and then kind of overcome. So yeah, 1.9k. I mean, there was a few missed shots, but there's not really too much more we can really do. Maybe we should have been more aggressive, sure. But then at the same time, we have no armor. You basically have 0 armor in this tank. And yes, there can be some random bounces here and there on the turret. But for the most part, you should never, ever consider yourself to have armor. Because you just don't. And this is the issue. You be too aggressive, you die. You be too passive, you don't get anything. And the gun kind of makes you sit in that middle section, but then also the armor does as well. So when we shot 11 times, we hit 8 and we penned 6. Just quickly, the standard rounds are good. You have 360 alpha, obviously, on all of these shells, apart from HE, which has 440. But 268 standard pen, and then for the premium round, you have 330 heat, which is very, very nice to have. However, obviously, intuition into it is a nightmare. So, okay, so for the next map, we're on Mannerheim line. Now, this isn't too bad, because we can go to the left-hand side. We don't have to worry about the heavy tanks or anything like that, unless they come over this side for whatever reason. But we can just control this area. It's a full tier 9 game, so we're equal tier matchmaking, which is really, really nice for us. What do we have to look out for? I mean, not really too many things. The UDES 16 is actually going to be a problem for us if we are using APCR. However, if we use heat, he's not really an issue. And again, a lot of these other tanks, they're not an issue if we are using heat. Just to show you the intuition, I know this will probably get me less damage, but look, we go to intuition it. And what does it load? 1 shell. Yep. Doesn't load the full clip, which is just disgusting, to be honest with you. It should load the entire clip and allow you to then just dish out all the damage. Because if you've already got it loaded, what's the point of just loading 1 shell? The only auto-reloader in the game that this is actually beneficial for is the Lion, which has the second shell being the fastest. The rest of the autoloaders in the game, the last shell is the fastest. So I think the intuition on this tank is just awful. However, it's better to have it than to not have it. We're just going to play on this last shell. That's all we need to do right now. We have a char at the very back of the map. We don't really have anybody else to support us though. So that is going to be a little bit of an issue for us. However, as long as we just keep peeking up and just being annoying and keeping them spotted, we should be okay. That's not a tank I was expecting to see here, but sure. And I can't even really pen him reliably either. Ah, well, I think we're dead here. Yeah. This is, yeah, this is over. My team is useless. Like, genuinely. I don't know. That's one of the worst teams I've seen. They didn't, like, I don't even understand. Like, why do we have a T-54 in the middle of the map who doesn't have gun depression, right? We have a Patton the Tank over here who literally is, I mean, let's be honest, it's Patton the Tank. If you're playing this tank, then, yeah. But I mean, this is a useless position for him to be in. All our mediums were just basically AFK. I mean, had a Char, which was doing a good job, actually, sniping at the back. But he was the only one there to support me. That the rest of them, the WT to support, no, he was all the way back here. You're not getting anything out of this game. I mean, sure, if I didn't show you the intuition, we would have got maybe 2 shots on the Char before he got into position, but that wouldn't have made any difference. When the score is 2-7 after 3 minutes, yep, you have a bad team. Well, what a fabulous game of World of Tanks. I enjoyed myself. Anyway, I mean, that was your typical World of Tanks experience in a standard B, where you go to position, your team doesn't do anything, and then you die. I mean, could we have done anything different? Sure, I could have maybe just ran away and then maybe, you know, prolonged the death, but there's nothing I can do in that situation to actually win the game. Like, this is the problem with the standard B. It doesn't have the capacity to truly carry games anymore. The gun will just randomly just shoot whatever it wants to shoot, and it will just screw you over at the worst possible time. And it doesn't have the armor either to peek up on a ridgeline and be annoying. As much as, yes, you could say you could run away and do this, that, and the other, in that kind of game, there's no winning that. Okay, so for our last game that I'm going to show you, it is on Empire's Border. I'm going to use the scouting setup just because I haven't shown it yet. And it will work okay on this map. Not amazingly, but you just get the idea of then seeing what this setup is like as well. Otherwise, there's no point in me saying that I have one and then never even showing it. So on this map, we're going to go to the middle. We're going to see what we can spot. Maybe we can be really, really annoying to the T-49. Get him spotted early on. The way that we should be able to do this is by just going to about here. And then maybe spotting him. Although actually there's a ridgeline in the way. So maybe not, but we'll see. I would have spotted him by now if he was coming there. Or he's behind the dip. In which case then I cannot spot that. So maybe it was a bit of a bad play doing that. I don't know. But we'll soon find out. This is a better position to be in. However, again, I wanted to be there early enough to be able to spot the T-49. No, T-49 didn't come this way. I think that it's not actually worth to do that. I think it'll be much better if we... Ooh, what are they doing? 1 second. One into him. We should kill this guy. Nice. Very, very nice, actually. I'd like one into this, please. Track not penetrated. I mean, maybe they'll be able to kill that, though. That's not the end of the world. T-49 is now half health. Very, very good for us. Camp Panzer... What the... The Panzer 7 is over there. Oh, hello. I didn't actually realise he was even that close, but... Bit of a rush shot to try and shoot him, but it's fine. Type 61 at the top as well, which we need to be aware of. Can I shoot this guy? One into him as he's running away. That's very, very good for us. I don't want to peek over this because the WT is now there, which is not fun. Although I should now be able to go down a little bit further and maybe be able to get some shots at these other people. Like the Barras pushing up and anyone else. One. I would like to hold the shot, but if the shot comes then I will shoot it. Okay. Oh my goodness, what on earth are you doing? I won't be able to shoot this guy unless he turns. Ooh. That's very, very big that he's dead though. Now the only other thing that we need to worry about is the Barras. Because the Barras will be the one that is now the dangerous spotter. Where is he going? Mr. Barras? Oh, no. Okay, I mean, I guess he doesn't want to be the annoying spotter, but... Well, at least not yet. Let's go and have a little look if anybody is up here. We need to remember we do not have hardening, so we will get tracked in one shot. Let's have a little look. Try and be... Actually, that's not a good idea. The best idea is not to peek up this because we just lost down here as well. So I'm going to tell this guy to fall back because he cannot really deal with this. The Barask will be very annoying to try and spot unless he goes through the open. And the Panzer 7 is going to then just start shooting us in behind. And we have 3 tanks here, which we can't deal with. If we pushed up to try and kill the Kalana, the WT, and the Type 61, we can't do anything there. Because then we start getting shot by the Barask in the rear. So unfortunately we win the mid, but I mean sort of win the mid. We win this side-ish, but then the other side has just fallen. But I mean I guess we just go forwards here because the game is pretty much over. We need to try and kill this Type 61 as fast as we can. And then deal with anything else that is over here. gun doing whatever the gun wants. Don't know what health the Katana's on. It's 172. Okay. Knocks that out, which is not great. That's the Centurion 7-1 doing. So much bloom on this. Try and kill this guy. Nice. Get him killed for the Centurion 7-1. I need to now tell them that I'm reloading, which is annoying, but...
I need help. Moving to support your position.
Kill him.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Ho-Rouge 3 is going to struggle against that. I don't have the DPM. This is the problem. If I was a single shotgun, this wouldn't be too bad. But because I am not a single shotgun, it's awful. And I can't even pen this guy, so I'm gonna need to just intuition, or not even intuition, but just switch to heat here. That's the worst thing about this tank, is the really long reload time. And I have to put these shells in, otherwise he's going to be on full health by the time that he reaches the 60 TP, and 60 TP were overwhelmed. So annoying. I have to fire on the single shot, like the first shot. So annoying. Try and go around here and just take some of the pressure off of him. I need the 7-1 to come and help. Type 61 is on 500 health. Okay. I don't know how that bounces. That really, yeah. We just have no DPM to be able to fight. No DPM. That is the Standard B. There's just, it's such an awkward and horrible vehicle at times to play with. If we were in a single shotgun there, we probably could have won. That's the sad reality of it. If we were in a single shotgun, we probably could have won the game. That is so sad. So yeah, I don't like this tank. I don't like the Standard B. The gun is horrible to use, to be honest. I really don't like it. Lack of DPM, lack of accuracy, very, very big bloom. The reload time, or sorry, the aim time is fine, I think you can call it. And that's about it. It's such a fall from grace from what it used to be that it's... I don't know why you would play it. I don't even know why you would play this entire line, to be quite honest with you. Because it's just not a fun thing to play with anymore. But yeah, that's the Standard B. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, you know what to do. And I'll see you all in the next video.